It's good to talk about this right now. These are the M1060s. These are the bigger brother of the Monoprice Monolith 560s. I'll start with a review very quickly. They sound better than I thought they'd sound, and I thought they'd sound really fucking good. And they are more comfortable than I thought they'd be, and I thought they'd be really fucking comfortable. Best girl. However, now that that's out of the way, I'll eventually get to the sound and the detail, but we're going to talk about the issues, because there are piles of them. Get some things first. Hold on. You put them next to my tools, because we got to talk about the tools. Let's get this out first. We'll start with the issue that isn't really an issue, but it's I have to mention it. This is stupid, right? The 560s came in a beautiful case. It was folded flat. You could actually use it. This, look at the waste of space in this. So yeah, they fit and they were presented beautifully. Oh, take them out. Oh, come on. All right, so that's literally the most useless carrying case ever. You pull them out, and I've done some stuff to these, and I was going to undo the stuff I did and then talk about them in stock form, but you know what? This is a Z review. I don't do jack shit like that. You took them out, and you picked them up like this, like you'd grab them probably by the outside, and I know what, I'll disassemble this a little bit while we're talking. The outside grills here were sharp. Not on the edges, but on all the edges. We're going to talk about build quality. Sound quality, spectacular. LCD2s or these every goddamn time. And I've taken this foam out, and we'll talk about the foam. So here's the side that they normally put out, that your hand touches. And you could feel like it literally stops. You can't slide your skin over it, or you're afraid it's going to start removing things. And that's because I think they're stamped. I don't think this is laser cut. I think they put this side down and go pa-doomph, and then they machine that pretty, and it's very fucking like sharp. Like the edges on the outside are fine, but these are like, oh god. So one of the little mods I've done is I took off these because I wanted to take the foam out. There's foam that comes in here by default, and when I took these off, I went, this side isn't as pretty, but it's smooth. You can touch it. You can see it's all scuffed up because no one at the factory intends you to see this side. But if you are one of the people like me and you've gotten one of these sets, and my God, you should. Even 300 or 400. Right now they're on Amazon for 400 and out of stock for 300 on monoprice.com. So someone's got a load of them. They're trying to make $100. Are they worth 400? Yeah. For how they sound and how they feel? Yeah, they're worth $400. Should you wait till they're 300? Yeah. Yeah, you probably should do that too. Here's a little, all right. More negatives, more negatives, more negatives. Well, that is a negative. MMXC connector, which is what Shure uses on their IEMs. Because it's Pico. Hey, look at the tiny little, let me just point it out with the screwdriver. It's so fucking small. Now, this is like the main complaint when people first started getting them. That might be a splinter of wood from the wood. We'll get to the wood and how the wood cracks, and we'll get to the thing and the headband broke. All that coming up. The wire it comes with, and I'm using this, by the way, here's the FIO X5 Gen 3, which I just got yesterday. Attached the Fostex HP, what's your model number, you awesome little bastard, HPV, the tube amp, and this is Bliss. Portable Bliss. I mean, it's giant, but... So here's the wire it comes with. It's MMXC or MMCX micro pop in. Just pop in, and that's it. Connectors that you pull out. And they sort of work. However, there have been reports, and I don't know what the percentage is, that the left-hand side So the side we're in currently of the driver has had an error. You could see why they used them. You could see why they used it. Because this entire thing is the magnetic structure that's holding the planar driver. There's a lot in here. It's to the edge. It's got all these screws with the thing. And that is the only space they had. They would have had to have made these a thicker cup to move and put a 1/4 inch or a 2.5 millimeter, not a 1/4 inch, but a 3.5 millimeter, 2.5 millimeter that actually protruded in. So I understand why they did it. I just don't like that they did it. So here's your driver. And you could see that this is all wood. This is legitimately a ring of wood that they've put in here, and they've mounted. Wood's splintering off from the holes. And I think I got some in my eye. Oh God, they're trying to kill me. Serious. I seriously got some of that in my eye. Which is usually, like on something like the Odyssey EL8Cs, there's metal and they just wrap it in wood. But this is wood. All wood. And that should be like something you could be proud of. However, you could see the outside here is shiny because it's been finished and oiled, and it's they've done work to the wood. But in here, it's dry. And the problem with that is people have found that they're taking them home, and if it's really humid or really dry where they are, that this ring is cracking. Because wood was a living thing, and even when you cut it down out of a tree and make furniture out of it, it's living. It bends and breathes and stretches and contracts, and it deals with that with moisture and temperature. And the fact that this is a completely wooden ring that has got a very no tolerance thing inside of it, when it tries to go down, when it tries to squeeze down that, I don't know, 1/8 of a millimeter, if the tolerance is indeed that tight, it just cracks at the weakest point, which you could see that they notched out here and here so the inside of the hinge could be. So you might develop a crack right there. And I don't know if it's going to fall apart, but mine hasn't done that. And I've got some cutting board oil that you use to finish a cutting board, and I'm just going to rub it around on the wood, and I might even pull the whole driver out and just deal with it. These are very Alfa Romeo headphones. We're getting into this, where, oh my God, are they fucking a joy to listen to. But you got to deal with it. You got to deal with the spark plugs go bad, and the oil has to be changed every 3 miles, and the tires sometimes do the thing. But so the foam in, these were amazing. All right, the sharp edges, these are amazing. I take the sharp edges, I rotate that around, and then I take the foam out. And some people complain about a 5K ringing, and if you don't know what that is, that's when there's a certain frequency that just gets on your nerves. There was a headphone that did it recently for me, and I don't remember what it was. Was it the JVCs? Those ugly JVC 1000s? Yeah, I hated those. And I had to fix it. I haven't experienced any of this ringing, and I'm not saying that you will or won't, but keep in mind, it's just up there. Some people complain about the ships having is it also 5K? Ships might also have a treble bump that people don't like, and, well, I never had a problem with that, so I don't have a problem with these. Are we done with the things that are wrong? No, we're not done with the things that are wrong. Build quality. All right, in general, the pads are glorious. Look at those things. You looking at them? I'm looking at them. I can't believe that these are stock. They're glued on, which sort of blew my mind a bit, because the 560s, I went on and on about how I liked the stock pads were great, and they had a magnetic system that made them come off. And I'm like, well, why would they do that? And I thought, oh, well, they're going to make the 1060s. It'll be the same system. You'll be able to swap pads. These are glued on. And I've been told I should try other pads. Oh, you got to try the the Odysseys, and I wouldn't bother, honestly. There you go, back on there. I have not had an issue with comfort on these headphones at all. Zero comfort. Got them, adjusted this cheaper head. It's much cheaper. You could tell everything is cheaper except for the sound. The sound is Odyssey you know, LCD, I want to say X almost. See, that's the thing. I knew they beat LCD2s in stock form. Then I took out this foam, which is here to quell the highs a little bit. And once I took that out, I don't know what changed. You know, I'm sure other reviewers are talking about it. Go find something about it on Headfi if you dare go to that place. And they'll tell you that, oh, you can't take that out, or you got to get a thinner foam. I just took it out, and I tried using them just like this. And I was like, wow, that's got a lot more detail in the highs is just coming through now. And then I just put the cover back on. I said, okay, screw it, putting the cover back on, and just leaving the foam out. Again, this is a free mod. If you're one of those people who's never modified headphones, why not try it? Especially on headphones that have a 5-year warranty, just don't let them know that you've taken them apart. That was close. That was close. We're going to have to talk about the headband breaking too. I reviewed that Quest style right there. I just reviewed it, and I was using these. Well, that review's probably come out before this review. So you probably remember a part in it where these broke. And that's why there's other tools here. Because it wasn't a hard fix. But the fact that I had to fix it is moderately annoying. Just moderately annoying. Because the headband is low quality. By the way, that's a level 3 maneuver where I grab the screwdriver. This is what Zeos streams would be like. Want to follow me on Twitch? There's a link in the description. And guess what? I haven't streamed yet, so you're going to be following an empty channel. Alright. These are back together. What were we talking about? We started talking about the wire, and then I stopped talking about the wire. Because we talked about the connectors. And the connectors are like, why? And you get this little slidey thing that'll put it together, so I guess you could have... But here's the problem with the wire. It's great wire. For portable, lightweight cans, get a right angle connector. You can just take it portable all the time. Because that's great. For IEMs. Or whatever the hell they got this wire for. Because it doesn't say monoprice on it. And these are certainly not designed to be used portable. I mean, if I hook this up here, and I'll pretend let's hook it up there, and I have this hooked up, I don't get to stand up. It's so short. They're 4 feet. They're like 50 inches. So this is a 50-inch. It's very nice. But this is not the cable you include with massive planar headphones. I mean, the one for the 560s was long, but it was nice and it was straight. It was the right length. Now they're just including in that giant box with these giant headphones this thing, and it's like, why? And I guess you can go to Shure. Any Shure compatible headphone will work. Keep throwing things on the ground. Tools, screwdrivers. So this headband thing, it's a simple, slide it down. You could hear it pops into these holes. When you turn around and look, you could see that the needle is actually scratching whatever ball bearing or whatever is popping in there is actually scratching the paint off, and you can get black paint. Of course, it just goes click, 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 and it scratches all the way down. Which, honestly, that shouldn't matter. It should be okay, whatever. This is just a piece of spring steel, and it bends, and then that's how it adjusts. Now, this headband, again, super comfortable. I need nothing else. This is like it's either memory foam in here or just very soft foam, and I could feel it. It's plastic. It's definitely not a real. It's not. Nothing here is real leather. These are protein leather. Again, I have no problems with the pads. I have no problem with this headband. The problem I have with this headband is when this side pulled out. Just now, an hour ago, I was reviewing this, and I'm using these as like a reference headphone, a reference quality headphone on sound, and then the headband pulled out. And I'm like, what? So I had to get these 3 tools out, disassemble this thing. There's little screws in the bottom. Then there's a little metal thing that it pulled out of. I had to unbend it and cut my hands open, then take the pliers and put it down, and then squeeze it back in there and screw it. And it works again. It took me 6 minutes to fix, but I shouldn't have had to fix it. These headphones are super comfortable and they sound fucking godlike in detail and low end and imaging and the spaciousness of soundstage. And I took them to a gaming thing, the RGB LAN, and it was just, I had only these and they were unmodified, and I was like, God. I let my friend who was doing competitive gaming, I said, here, borrow these for a bit. Just borrow them for a round. He was using the Ship 9500s. I've obviously steered him towards those. And then he loves those, and he has those with a full of 2. And then I let him borrow these, and it was just like, oh my God. Oh my God. And that's all I can say about him is, oh my God. He's like my little portable solution. We've got tubes and things, so let's by the way, I'm holding this. I just want to tell you this in one of my popular reviews. This X5 here is being held to this with blue tack. 3 strips of blue tack. Just no more cock rings for me. Blue tack, as long as you got 2 flat surfaces. So I've, of course, built balanced cables. In fact, my other channel, which there'll be 2 videos on my other channel that I'll link in the description. Me building these cables and how pain in the ass these connectors are, because they're all designed for IMs. And me fixing that head strap, because I just filmed myself fixing that head strap. Because why not? Because it's one of those things that if yours breaks, and several people on my Telegram link in the description, several people on my Telegram posted pictures of their broken 1060s. Of course, the headband strap came out. So it's not like I'm the only one, or it's only happened 1 out of 1,000. They're built cheap. The wood ring sounds like a good thing, but it's gonna crack if it's not taken care of. This is just thin metal. I don't worry about the hinge here breaking. That seems fine. These little stops, which is all these are, is stops so that could actually land on something. They figured out how to make some of the world's best, cheapest, comfortable, best sounding headphones. But you're going to have to deal with some problems. And if you watch my 560 review and bought 1060s, you're in for this. This is what I've preemptively sold you on, and now I have to come and babysit everyone through it because it's my responsibility. Now, what do we got? Richard Cheese going. Darkness is a wonderful pick for the background for this because you have to be slightly a masochist to love these headphones because they might break at any point. Ho ho. Postmodern Jukebox hash pipe. Fuck. Every time I hear them, and this is a very good DAC amp to hear them on, and then you got 2 little portable. Every time I hear them, I don't understand. I understand why they cost so little. I just went over it for whatever 12. This is like a 30-minute review, probably by the end of it. Doesn't matter. You're all going to watch it, and if you don't watch it, you watch 5 minutes and you don't get all this good stuff, because this is where the good stuff happens. This is where I forget about the sharp edges on the sides and the headband breaking and the glued on pads and the shitty wire that... It's not shitty wire, it's the wrong wire for the application. And then I sit here and I don't know if balance is making a difference, or I'm not going to start that argument because I'm having the doubts now after reading a whole bunch of electronical engineering things. But I'm sitting here. This is a YouTube rip. This is audio ripped from a YouTube video. And I'm just gushing over it. Because they didn't have that song in FLAC when you tried to download it or buy it. The low end. Alright, I'm reviewing these right now with the foam delete. Because it's an easy enough thing and you could turn the things around and they won't be sharp. These have, as long as, if they fix it, because I can actually email the guy who runs the Monolith branch of Monoprice. He's the project director. I have his email. And I will be emailing him about the strap breaking as well. He says they're fixing a lot of things for revision for the second run. Because they came out with whatever first run and they are gone. within like 2 days. Whatever's left on Amazon currently, if it's $400 or if the stock hasn't come back in, that's all going to be revision 1, hopefully revision 2. Maybe they include a longer cable. It just needs to be longer. The right angle head doesn't need to be there. They oil the wood completely so it doesn't crack. If they make sure those things don't pop out, I'm fine with everything else. Comfort, again, no issues. So rare for a Zeos to have no issues with comfort. The only other one was the damn Ethers have no comfort issues because they used the right size pad and the right weight and the right clamp. But now we're back to sound, and it's just... Don't even ask what that is. But vocal clarity, the goddamn imaging is fucking spectacular. They're a warm, open... I want to say I'd take these over almost LCDXs. And I love the LCDXs. They're $1,600. Ringing at 5K, be damned. I don't hear it. I don't hear it. When you... Again, I'm reviewing them with the foam out. With the foam in, they just lose like 5% of the high end gets reduced. And that might be to fix the ringing. But whatever, you know, you could take the foam in, take the foam out, put thinner foam. These headphones in their current state with a good DAC amp and... Well, balanced, again, I'm not going to say balanced as being a super benefit because I'm using this on this and it still sounds amazing. These are the best headphones you can buy under $1,000. Possibly under $1,500, depending on how I want to word that. They're almost as weirdly crappy a build as like Hi-Fi Min. But I don't know. That they wanted that price point and they've got it because they did this... and that, but oh my god, this, if you're in it for the sound and only the sound, the low end reproduction that these can make rivals almost everything I've heard in an open planar. Maybe the HE1000s had slightly more controlled giant bass because the driver was just physically bigger. Man of Steel. These are an experience. These are not headphones you get to prepare you for higher end headphones. These are headphones you get because they're the only headphones you need and screw higher end headphones. Are they stacks? They're still not stacks, but my god, do they get close. A good planar can get close to stacks. The stacks is always going to be that, like, one car in front. The low-end knock. Talked about that in other fucking headphones. This is a very long video about me talking about how broken they are. But I started it saying... they sound better than I imagined. And I imagined they were going to sound like LCD. LCD2s had always, even the phasered ones, had a thing about them that was sort of off-putting, but I understood that they were still amazing. Then the LCDXs came out, and I was like, oh, forget LCD2s entirely. People would ask me, should I get LCD2s? And I would be like, save, get LCDXs. Well, now people are going to ask me, should I get LCD2s? And I'm going to be like, no, buy 2 pair of these because when one breaks, you could transfer parts over. So this is an amazing headphone. It really, really is. It easily earns its way onto my wall. It just has issues. You're going to find that woman one day. Some of you might have married her already. That is perfect and is the best cook and can do crazy things in bed. But occasionally... there's a fire, and she doesn't tell you that she started it, but you know she did. That's these. You love them despite the fires, and the flat tires, and the weird phone calls. You love them. And I love them. I love it. Frank Drebin call out there. Horns. Strings. It's Nero. There's nothing these don't excel at. It's very strange. What's their signature like? Well, I'd almost call them neutral with an extended low end, just a little bit deeper by default with stock foam. Take the foam out, you get just a bit brighter in that top end, and that brighter top end tastes like more detail. It tastes like I wanted to listen to them more once I took the foam out, and I didn't want to stop listening to them when they had the foam in. So that's it. It's the only thing I've been using. I haven't even turned the stacks on in 2 days. Well, I turned them on for this review, but I'm amazed by the cost per performance ratio. Because it's not... These are the giant killers. Where those might have been giant killers, these are. And if you have 560s, know this. You've got the better built set. And it sounds, I'm going to have to say 85% is good. 80 to 85. Because there's got to be a big enough chunk left over to say these are better. And these are better than those. In almost every way except for build. You can certainly pick up when there's poor recording qualities. I would also like to point this out. Wearing them with no sound playing, they're very open. And usually open headphones are open. They sound open. But these are specifically a little bit more open than most. Foam in or out. The foam blocks a little bit. That's dumb. But the foam doesn't change that too much. These are just insanely open sounding headphones. They're as far as I'm concerned, they're a reference for open headphones on Earth. Currently. Are there better headphones out there? Sure. Don't make me name them because it's going to be a tough list. It's going to be stacks, maybe LCDXs and stacks. TH100s are semi-open. Those don't count. For planar, open. This over just about every hi-fi-man. I'd take these over the HE1000s just because I'm not afraid of breaking them. 5-year warranty, I'm pretty sure they're going to hold up with that. The sound demo, I'm gonna if you don't know, sound demo should be in the description or here in the thing. These are amazing. Period. All right? You should have jumped to the end if you've jumped to the end of the video, where we are right now, you'll know that these are amazing. Whether you're using the stock cable and the foam in, they're amazing. If they break, you can kind of fix them. As long as the ring doesn't crack and you got to glue it. Hopefully they fix all those problems by the time this review comes out. I'm going to sort of sit on it a little bit. See when the next batch is coming out. Because I hate releasing a review to you guys. And you're like, I want to buy that now. And it's just like, oh, by the way, they're out of stock for like ever. So I'll see when this comes out. I might give it to the patrons real early. And then just wait. They're good. They're real good. Like, beyond my expectations. I just wish they didn't have the issues.